WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings and Raycon. It is Jarom. It is Tanner. What is up, bud?
Nothing much, man. Just we got Stanley Cup Final set.
Yes, PSA. We have to do this every year. It is the Stanley Cup Final.
Yes.
There's only one S in Stanley Cup Final, and it's at the very beginning. It's not at the end.
That's true.
You
get
go.
the conference finals, and then you get the final.
There's one series. It's NBA. NBA screws it up because they call it the NBA Finals. That's why it gets all fucked up, I think.
That's really weird. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that makes sense.
One series, guys. One series.
It's not like each game is the final.
Right.
That's why it's not the finals.
Yeah, but we will get into the Stanley Cup Final in a second here in NHL Talk. But yeah, we took a week off.
Final.
Good thing we did because we were able to wait and enjoy the entire conference finals and really like take in what was going on there. Not much is going on in Hawks land just yet. In case you didn't know, Connor Bedard's going to be a Chicago Blackhawk. That's going to be happening in actually this time next
28 days.
This time next month, he will have been a Blackhawk for 2 days. So, let's go. Connor Bedard's a Blackhawk.
First overall pick from the Regina St. Pat's. Or not St. Pat's, just Regina Pats, right? I'm thinking Toronto.
Oh yeah, I think it's a Regina. Yeah. Regina Pats.
Yeah.
But the question is, and it's been kind of discussed about, is we have Connor Bedard, but who's going to play with him? And where I'm going with that is CapFriendly rolled over their site.
Oh, yeah.
Now showing the cap space going into the 23-24 season. And if you've been listening to the show before, you know how much we fucking love CapFriendly and how crazy we go over it. So seeing what the cap space is for the Hawks this year, it's exciting. Kind of wish we had this when we are in competitive mode, but giving Davidson a blank slate.
Basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Hawks are the only team in the NHL with projected cap space larger than their cap used. It's wild.
They're currently sitting at $41,655,123 in cap. Right? Or is that cap hit or available? It's available. Sorry, that's available.
The available is the 844,000. Yeah. Jesus.
And they need to spend just over 20 million just to get to the salary cap floor to be eligible to play, have an eligible roster. So it's going to get fun, I think. I think we're going to see a lot of back contracts coming our way this year, which means more draft picks.
Yep. You're going to see some massive 1 year contracts. Not massive, but like generous.
Oh yeah. But
because,
I also think
we got to make it to the cap floor.
I wrote this on.
Here's what sorry.
So good.
To keep going though, like you can get someone like, I don't know, Ryan O'Reilly on a 1 year deal and give him something really nice and then trade him at the deadline to a contender. And like that guy can show Connor Bedard, like he's great at faceoffs. He's great at the two-way game. Like those are guys that you want to possibly get. But I don't know if like Ryan O'Reilly would be like the best choice, but like I'm just saying, like that's the kind of shit you could do.
The same mindset though with that is, and we've talked about it before, is Matt's Pacioretty.
Yeah.
Coming off back-to-back Achilles tears, he is a guy who can play. If he can stay healthy and this isn't an issue anymore, he can still play. Hawks can sign him to a 1 year deal, like 1 year prove it deal, show the league that he can stay healthy, he can play. For maybe half a season, you get him mentoring kind of Bedard because he's got the captain, he's got the leadership from Montreal. Like
Yeah.
he is a leader, he is a great player. You let him mentor him. Then you trade him at the deadline. You retain 50% of his cap hit, or whatever, make it a lot more manageable for the team receiving him. That's the kind of stuff you can do.
Yeah. I mean, especially because he's the guy that's often injured. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know how many teams that are contenders are going to be like not wasting cap space, but like allocating that cap space to a guy that might not even play through the whole season for you.
A lot
And
of
it's like the Hawks need to make the cap floor, baby. Like, let's go.
A lot of competitive teams that are going to be fighting for the Stanley Cup next year are going to be right up against that cap. With even before this offseason even starts, there's already like teams that are like in cap hell. I mean, I still have no idea what the fuck who are the Vegas going to give us for free this upcoming offseason?
Yeah.
Because it's like, what the fuck are they going to do? They're like 11 million over the cap right now with their roster. I think they're somebody
With
said it was like 90.
LTIR.
Yeah, I think they said like their active roster in the playoffs right now is like 95 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, that's the thing that I mean. If Vegas does what Vegas does, Robin Lander's probably gone for nothing.
Oh yeah.
Because they're in the Stanley Cup Final. He didn't play the entire season. They've done it with Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill, and Lauren Brossoit.
What?
And at this point, their management is going to look at him and just be like, "What's the point of having Robin Lehner now?" Like,
Do they even have draft picks? Because you know they're gonna have to sweeten it too.
they do. They have all their firsts for the next 3 years.
Shit.
They don't have a second, fourth, or fifth this year. No third or fourth next year, and then no seventh the year after.
That second round would probably be the most useful next year, I think.
Yeah.
But again, they're gonna be either the 31st or 32nd overall pick, so you might as well get rid of that first rounder just to get rid of what 5 million on the books or something like that.
Well, so far over the last 2 years, they haven't had to make like a little sweetener at all. Like we just got Flurry for future considerations, basically, and
That's a little
then
bit different.
Carolina got Pacioretty for future considerations.
Well, Carolina, or they also got, didn't they also throw another player in too
I don't think so.
to Carolina?
I don't.
Coughlin.
Oh, let me check. Back in July. Oh yeah, Dylan Coughlin. Okay.
Yeah.
Which when is he? He played 17 games last year, 3 assists. I
It's
don't
not
know.
much of a
Maybe he got
sweetener.
hurt.
Not much
Maybe
of
he
a
got
sweetener
hurt.
there. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
he's
don't
only
know.
25. Right-handed or right defenseman. Carolina likes collecting defensemen.
Yeah, I understand that one. They have so many defensemen.
So.
And they still can't win.
Yeah,
No,
Carolina just gets hit hard by the injury bug right when playoffs start. But yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say another name too that I've been seeing thrown around and makes sense. JVR.
Eh.
He's a guy. Well, I'm just saying, like, it makes sense for the sense that you could sign him for fairly or a contract. Like, the way I'm looking at contracts going into this next season is what is their cap hit going to be at 50% retained for another team?
Yeah, right.
And
But like, what's the value you're gonna get with JVR? Because Philly didn't make a single trade during the trade deadline,
yeah,
and
and they
like he
also
was one of
fired
the
their
guys
GM.
That was rumored to be on the block.
Yeah,
Like they
but
got
their GM
nothing.
also didn't do anything, and he forgot his cell phone and during trade deadline time. Like he got fired for that reason.
Yeah.
But I think you bring JVR and you can get like anywhere probably between a second and fourth, depending on how his season's going.
He didn't really do too much last year. He only had 29 points in 61 games. I don't know how much of that is like Flyers bad or it's just
Yeah.
not getting it done. Like, didn't Kevin Hayes had like a decent season, didn't he?
Yeah, and he got
Konechny had a
health
good
bombed.
year.
And he got health bombed games.
No, he played 81. He got health bombed one
He
game.
got one game. Yeah, he got health bombed one game. He was a leading
Made
scorer on that team, and he got health bombed.
54 points. Well, Konechny was injured a lot, but he was having a great season. He had 61 points in 60 games. He would have had the points lead in that for that team. I don't know, JVR. I don't really know like how much that makes sense though. I don't see JVR as like somebody that fits well because I don't think he's quick.
I also think though too, like you're gonna see a lot of guys coming in are just coming in to play to fill bodies.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I guess JVR is a good example in the sense of like these are the type of guys you're gonna see. Like I wrote in the Hockey Buzz article saying like in 10 years, this upcoming
Oh
season
yeah.
is going to be full of trivia question like, hey,
Oh
you
yeah.
remember when so and so was a Blackhawk? Remember when Phil Kessel was a Blackhawk?
Remember that half
Like,
season that we had Max Domi? I hope we
yeah.
get Max Domi back, but I don't know. We'll see. It'd be great. Um, yeah, just JVR, man. Like I don't see him. I just don't see how he would, even on the Hawks. Like I don't see how he would be a good fit for like lines 1 or 2.
We're looking cross off Kane, cross off Tays, cross off Riley, cross off Tarasenko. Then you got JV. I mean, these are ranked in their what they were
Do you really
last
cross off
contract.
Tarasenko though?
I think so.
I don't know, man. Tarasenko's like a really good, like he can get paid and then moved.
But here's the thing: is like, why doesn't he just get paid and go to a team
Like
that's already?
who?
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying though too, because it's like we keep saying get paid, but then it's like we still got to keep in consideration of like what other teams are gonna be able to afford at the deadline.
Nah, fuck that, man. Who cares? Like, I'm
And he's
sure.
young, man. He's
I'm.
only 31. I feel like
Yeah,
he's so much older. Jesus.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got somebody like Tarasenko.
You know who?
Pacioretty, it like makes sense.
Sean Monahan.
Yeah, I guess.
You know who's coming? You know who's gonna sign? Lucic.
No fucking way.
I think I don't know. I got a weird feeling he's gonna come in to be Bedard's personal bodyguard.
They'd get Tyler Bertuzzi. I mean, the free agents, like, there's nothing sexy about them. Like, the best one is like Kaner, but like, I've already heard like that's not gonna happen.
We are picking a great time to rebuild.
Yeah,
No good, like I mean, there's good free agents, but it's not like the oh shit, this is gonna change our franchise. We we have the rebuild is the top draft picks available is when we decide to suck and we suck the best and we are getting Connor Bedard. Now it's honestly we could possibly get the first overall pick next year too. And that's kind of fucking exciting. I don't know who is even in like the running for like the who's considered like the top guy next year.
Macklin Celebrini.
But like can you imagine like get Bedard, get another top 3 pick?
There's a kid. Well, yeah, I think I mentioned this on a previous episode, but it was there's another kid that's an American. That's his last name's Iserman, but it's like EISER, and he's having like identical national development team seasons as like Cole Caulfield. Yeah.
Dude,
He had like 62 goals or some shit like this year. I
win
gotta
the
look it up because I feel like I might be wrong, but like fuck, but
win the lottery again next year. So then we can't win again for 5 years anyway, and that won't matter because we'll be tearing it
Cole
fucking up
Iserman,
again. Cole
Iserman, of course, Cole Caulfield, Cole Iserman. Why not?
the C's are going to be taking over Chicago. Cole Iserman, Connor Bedard. Let's fucking go. God, I'm so fucking pumped for the future.
Let's see, what's this kid's elite prospects? He had. Oh my god. So this past year, he had 42 games on the U17 team and had 43 goals, 29 assists. And he had 20 games on the U18 team with 26 goals and 6 assists. Oh my God. And then, you know how like the national development team plays in the USHL?
Yeah.
So they had 32 games in the USHL. He had 28 goals and 16 assists. So he scores.
And he's eligible next draft.
Yes. Yeah, he's a 2024 draft eligible. And he's one of the top prospects for it.
All right.
But yeah, Macklin Celebrini is like the kid to look out for, who also plays for the Chicago Steel. But he's I think he's Canadian.
I'm surprised at how many of these guys play for the Steel.
Right? It's crazy.
Fantilli played for the Steel, I think, a little bit.
I think I saw that too. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Steel gets some like good guys coming through. Fuck. It's gonna be so great. If we get first overall next year, people are gonna like boycott the NHL. Which great, do it. I don't give a fuck.
Like I said before we started recording, I am ready to embrace the villain role. I will. You want to fucking hate the Blackhawks? Bring it on. I don't care because we will be watching Connor Bedard while you guys all hate us.
You get to watch him and hate.
And it's gonna be so much fun watching us lose next year when Connor Bedard is doing Connor Bedard things.
Yes. I mean, this team was fun to watch this year. It's gonna be even better. I just don't think we'll end up getting like last. I don't see it happening. One of the things I just realized too for this offseason, not only can we take on bad contracts and get picks for it, but there's been talk of like the Hawks taking on contracts to specifically just buy out and getting more assets from that.
You got to be careful with that one though too, because it's like because it's essentially, so if you buy it a 1-year deal, it turns into a 2-year deal, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to be very careful.
Well, yeah, we're not going to be Minnesota.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you just like that's the one thing though too. It's like I don't want people starting to hear like what are some really bad contracts that are like long term, like the Hawks will just Seth Jones. Seth Jones Hawks buy out Seth Jones' contract, and then it's like they're paying Seth Jones for fucking 14 years instead of the 7 more or whatever it is.
But like, let's say Vancouver, and they send Tyler Myers, and we just buy him out, and he's just on the books for this year and next year, but like go somewhere else, whatever, who cares? And we get like that 11th.
I don't know, man. I still think we're getting Brock in 11.
I think it'd be insane. It'd be pretty cool if Davidson pulls out like Brock Besser. But I mentioned in our group chat too, how cool would it be? We get Besser in 11th, and then we retain half on Besser, send him to Washington for 8th and send him with the 19th. What if that would? That's some shit.
So I want to write because I want to. You know what? I'm gonna fucking put this on social media. This is
you think it's kind of like last season? So last year it was Alexander Romanov to the Islanders. Fuck, what was the trade? It was Romanov for somebody in the 13th, so that Montreal had the 13th from the Islanders, and then they used the 13th to get Kirby Dach.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a similar kind of situation where
what would we trade to Vancouver?
That would be,
or just be future consideration.
Not future considerations. Probably
we'd have to give something for Brock.
It'd probably be like some seconds. It's purely if they are just like we need to cap dump like, and
I'm just trying to think of a trade proposal for,
even if it is like when I mentioned before, like let's say Kurashev is a part of that deal. Like we lose Kurashev, whatever. Like who cares? Like as much as I like him, like if we can get the 8th out of this, it'd be great. So let's say,
how about this? Brock an 11th for Kurashev and a 2nd.
Yeah, maybe a 3rd. I don't know. It depends on how highly valued like this ends up getting. But like I don't know. Like Vancouver's up against the fucking wall right now, dude. And if they want to shed cap, like they're going to have to really pay up. And I don't know if any other team's going to want to do less. The Hawks are just like in the best position for this.
So okay, so Brock in 11th for Kershev in a second, then Brock the 19th and 50% retained to Washington for the 8th.
Yeah.
And then the
8th. Maybe not the 19th. I was thinking maybe like one of the seconds, because Brock at 50% retained to Washington is not bad.
Or how about this? Okay, so for a second pick, so I'm adjusting this here on the fly. So Brock a second, 50% retained to Washington for the 8th. Then we take the 8th and the 19th to San Jose for the 4th.
For the 4th. We did still have to give up more for that, I think, but that'd be insane.
Because that 4th, because that was the next topic on the list. San Jose is allegedly willing to part with the 4th overall pick. You have potentially anywhere between Fantilli,
maybe
Mishkinov,
not really,
Michkov, and Carlson.
Yeah, or Will Smith.
Like those are all the guys that people are kind of like juggling back and forth, like who's gonna go 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
you get 2 picks in the top 5 in this draft. Oh, fucking buddy!
2017 Dallas Stars.
Fantilli somehow pulls a Shane Wright and falls to 4. Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Shane Wright didn't pull a Shane Wright. The 3 teams ahead of the Kraken decided to be like, no thanks.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying now, forever now, if you're a top overall pick, and you fall to 4th, you're not pulling a Shane Wright.
But here's the thing: Fantilli's disgusting, and
so good.
He just had a nasty like World Cup where he scored just an absolutely crazy goal, just inside out on the defenseman and just rips it. Yeah, like I feel like he's solidified like number 2. There was like an article or something that came out that like one of the like Hawks scouts was just like much higher on Fantilli, and I was like, but are you just trying to be like contrarian to like everything? Because like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Scott Powers came out front of the show. And he's like, just so there's no confusion, the Hawks are taking Connor Bedard.
Oh yeah.
First overall. I'm like sitting there and I'm like, can you imagine this generational talent being available? And yet you still have to come out and say, there's no chance that the Hawks are not taking this guy. Yeah. Like, this should be the no-brainer. They should be putting Bedard jerseys in the NHL store right now.
Yeah, like, they can't, though, until, like, the
right, 28th. But it's like,
at, like, 10 p.m.
If there's ever been such a sure thing in life, Connor Bedard going to the Blackhawks.
Death, taxes, and Connor Bedard going to the Blackhawks.
I really want to pull the trigger on that jersey just so I can fucking throw it on right away.
They won't let you do it right now. Yeah, you can't customize a Bedard jersey without showing proof that you have the last name Bedard and that your favorite number is 98. I'm sure you can get it on like some like Chinese website, but like it's not gonna look good.
I don't know. I'll find a way. Do like a little space at the end of the name. So it's like maybe just one little too far.
Just like a fucking underscore and then just unstitch it once it comes in. You gotta do it on the front, like before the name and after the name, so it's still centered on the jersey.
I think I'm going to be hopping on the Hockey Podcast Network's YouTube channel for the live stream of the first round. Ooh. To go on there wearing a Connor Bedard Blackhawk jersey would be fucking amazing.
I mean, yeah. I don't think it's going to be as embarrassing as like people showing up to Montreal with a Shane Wright Montreal Canadiens jersey. It's just fucking devastated.
Fucking fumbled the bag on that one. I still can't believe that. All right.
Dude, I mean, with the way that Logan Cooley was performing and him going back to the college, like he could end up being probably one of the better ones from that draft year already. Who the fuck went to? Oh yeah, it was a defenseman to New Jersey. I forgot. Yeah. Oh my God, New Jersey has a fucking second overall defenseman coming into their pipeline too.
Ah, you're right. Damn it.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Connor Bedard ?
You think they're gonna put a question mark on the jersey?
That would be fucking hilarious.
Fuck, bud. I'm so excited. There's nothing else for the Hawks though right now, right?
No, I mean, we are for so much excitement that's going on in Blackhawks hockey right now. There's just nothing to talk about at the moment.
Do you want to mention? I just saw this on Reddit. Do you want to talk anything about Andrew Shaw?
Oh, do we want him to ever come on the show?
Yeah, it'd be cool, but like, come on, bud.
He almost fucking like it was like the thing the meme. It's like not gonna lie, they had us in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was reading that. I'm like, oh, okay. Somebody saying something very good, talking about the situation, not knowing what was going on.
Yeah,
Stop.
like a
Period.
firsthand like recount of like how it really went down in during that time, talking about the sexual assault.
Period. Stop. That's all.
How
I don't know.
it
I
wasn't known
I didn't
to the
know
locker
about it.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody knew about it. Nobody fully knew the full extent of it. Stop. Period. End of story. Move on.
but they didn't. But he didn't.
I
Andrew Shaw decided to place himself in Kyle Beach's shoes and just be like, I don't know how you could allow that to happen to yourself. If that was me, like my thumbs would be touching the back of his skull. It was like, all right, buddy, like you weren't there, you don't know the situation,
I
and
just
like
like Noli's
now
text.
you're like doing like this victim blame.
Yeah,
Like,
I love
oh my
Noli's
gosh,
text. Like, this is victim blaming. Andrew, you're victim blaming.
dude, just come
Like,
on.
Jesus Christ.
Also,
Like,
like, what was the point of like even mentioning it? Like,
what'd you get out of it?
what brought this quote up?
He was on a podcast. Um, I've never even heard. It was like some former player podcast, and they were talking about the whole situation. I think they asked him if he knew about it or like
The Raw Knuckles podcast.
yeah. And it's just like, come on, guys, just fucking let it go. Stop talking about it. There's no need to bring it up. Everybody remembers what happened
Yeah,
and the Hawks have to fucking deal with this forever. And it's like you're not helping the case by giving your 2 cents about it.
yeah. It was. I don't know.
Like
It's
we
just
said, you said you didn't know anything about it until the following season. There's your statement. There's your comment. Move on. Come on.
come on.
It's so stupid. And it's like, yeah, what did you get? Like, what did he get out of that? Nothing.
I don't know.
Luckily for him, he can blame CTE probably for it.
Oh
He
my
can just,
god. Hey, somebody hacked my Twitter.
yeah. Somebody hacked my. That was AI. That wasn't me. That was an
Yeah,
AI.
right. It was a deep fake.
That's
This
the new thing.
video,
That's gonna be the new thing. Yeah, sorry. No, that was an AI deep fake of me. I never
bro. That's
said
not
that.
me, bro. That's
Oh
not
my
me at
god,
all.
that's so funny. But yeah.
I got my
So
location turned on. I wasn't there.
I love Andrew Shaw. I still like him, like and all that, everything he did for the Hawks. But dude,
Poor choice of words.
do just fucking think before you fucking talk. Get
Yeah.
Steger on the show and ask him the same question, see what he says.
But Steve just does the opposite and just be like, I probably would have gotten it worse. All right, no joking. I'm done with that. No. That was terrible. I'm sorry. It's not a funny situation.
Oh god. All right. So let's move on to NHL talk. Unless you got anything else for Hawks.
I think that's it. I mean, this countdown is still going, but like we're about to enter the month. We're gonna be within the month of the draft.
Yeah, we're 1 day away from June once this gets posted. Um as soon as the final ends, it's kind of like you're in full blown let's go mode. And probably right. Probably the pre-draft episode that'll get posted on draft day. We'll probably talk more about, what the Hawks are going to be doing, because then it's like you have the draft on Wednesday, the first round of the draft on Wednesday, the rest of the draft on Thursday, and then that Saturday is open to free agency.
Yep.
So there's a lot going to happen in the next month or so of hockey world, and this team is going to be a lot different. The Kane Tays era is officially over, and the Bedard era has begun. Have begun. It's gonna be fun. Enjoy the ride now, boys.
Fuck yeah. Let's get it.
All right, NHL talk. Third round recap. Conference finals came and went. I'd like to say I was 100% on my predictions for it. Thank you.
From the very beginning of the playoffs, I had both of these teams out in the first round.
Oh, my actual bracket.
And I think I had maybe one win between the two of them.
My actual bracket is garbage.
Stupid like Winnipeg in like 5.
Let's see.
Vegas would have no goaltending, and then obviously I thought Florida was just going to get swept. And
so the first
here
round,
we are.
The first round, the only one you got right from the Eastern Conference was Carolina Hurricanes. Moving on.
Yeah, baby.
Had the only one I got wrong in the first round for the Eastern was Boston. I had Vegas and Edmonton moving on in the first. You had Dallas and Edmonton. We both got Colorado wrong. You got Winnipeg wrong. I got Minnesota wrong. Jumping over to going to the conference final. You had
the semifinal?
No, going from the semifinal to the conference final.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just round 2. Gotcha.
I was 0 for 4. I got every single one wrong.
Sick.
You had Edmonton, Dallas, New Jersey, Florida. You almost nailed the Florida sweep. you almost had it.
I was a round 2 early.
You had Dallas, Florida going to the Stanley Cup Final. I had Vegas, Florida, and Noli had Dallas, Carolina. So
we're good
I gotta get his picks then because he's a part of this now. So, but yeah. So, where do you want to start? Eastern or Western?
I mean, the East finished first. We can just start there. Florida in 4, just how everybody drew it up at the beginning of the playoffs. Hilarious, but just saying Florida in 4 makes it seem like they dominated. That series was so tight.
You said it best.
I mentioned in our group chat that like it reminded me of the LA and Vegas series in 2018. That was the first round. It was Vegas's first playoffs where they swept LA, but each game was a 1-goal game, and there was it was 2-1, 2-1, 3-2, and 2-1 or something like that. It was
super tight,
insanely tight, and it was the exact same for that Florida series. I mean, game 1 went 4 OTs.
Yeah,
ends up winning in an OT. Second game went into overtime. Like Kachuk again, just a monster, and then 1-0, right? 1-0 win in game 3, and then 4 seconds left. Kachuk is just like, I got more time, but I'll just put it in now.
Kachuk scored 3 of the 4 game-winning goals, and he assisted on the other.
Crazy.
He is so fucking good. Light the lamp during the hockey playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook right now. New customers can make a $5 bet and score $150 in bonus bets. Right now, the Florida Panthers are underdogs to finish up the 4-game sweep of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So if you are confident that you think they can do it, now's the time to put in a bet there. Right over at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sports app now and sign up with code THPN. New customers can make a $5 bet and instantly score $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelpline.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700 on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas City. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies on jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for offer details. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsibility gambling resources. Let's face it, with coffee starting at $5, yes, even without any customizations and our bank accounts always somehow depleting, we are officially entering a dupe session. Most products do the same thing, but are priced differently solely based on the brand name. So a good duplicate or dupe is crucial for getting the highest quality at the best price. One dupe you definitely shouldn't sleep on: Raycon wireless earbuds. Raycon is premium audio and the perfect price point so you can listen to what you want when you want without breaking the bank, which is going to be huge, especially if you're a Chicago Blackhawk fan, because now you're going to be needing as much money as possible to be buying up Connor Bedard Blackhawk jerseys and tickets to go see the next Connor McDavid live in the flesh in Chicago at the Madhouse. Let's go. Nothing better right now. Raycon's mission is to prove that you shouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg for quality sound and essential smart tech listening features. You can get a pair and a spare and still play less than you would with some of those other more big name tech brands out there. Raycon knows that in this economy, every purchase needs to be perfect. They offer buy now, pay later options right now, and you can pay as low as $18 at checkout. They have an easy and free return guarantee. They offer 2 years of product protection insurance for just a few bucks. They offer free domestic shipping and flat fee international shipping. They have over 50,000 5-star reviews talking about how comfortable the earbuds are, the noise canceling, the awareness mode, the customizable sound profiles, the water resistance, and 8 hours of playtime everyday earbuds. Go buy raycon.com/THPN today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/THPN to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com/THPN.
He is everything that they wanted in that trade, and they got even more. It's the impact that he's made on this team is just amazing. That's like how could you couldn't have planned it any better. Like the team barely makes the playoffs. Also, Conn Smythe Trophy nominations, Bobrovsky, Kachuk, and the Chicago Blackhawks, because
I was
that win
about to
against
say,
Pittsburgh, baby.
dude, I was about to say, like, the Conn Smythe, like, this is gonna be so fucking hard if Florida wins.
Mhm.
Because the way Bob has played and the way
Yeah.
Kachuk has been there stepping up for this team.
At what point do like the game-winning goals take over from like just rock solid goaltending?
Yeah, because I mean, it's like you don't get the wins as a goalie. I mean, without the game-winning goals.
Right. And I'm just curious, like, I wonder how the first round would have gone if they had started Bob with game one.
Yeah.
Like maybe it wouldn't have gone the same way, like maybe he doesn't play as hot, but like his first game in net also wasn't great. And then all
No,
of a sudden he shut everyone down. He didn't allow he didn't allow a third goal in a game from after game 7 until game 4 against Carolina. It was 2 or less for every game after that, which was what, 8 games.
yeah.
It's that's the greatest goaltending you're going to get in the playoffs.
There was fucking. I need to start like saving like clips and stuff because or like screenshots stuff I see because there's some ridiculous stat about the amount of saves he made
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
4-game sweep. It was like 168 or something like that.
yeah.
Like it's like one of the top. It might be the most in playoff.
His save percentage. So I remember it was in our group chat. I had put down a bunch of like stats of his save percentage. In the second and third rounds, his lowest save percentage was a 917. And that was in like a 2-goal game against Toronto where he had only 24 shots against. Otherwise, his average, like, because if you have to take out the first round because of the first game, he only like 860. But his average in this 2 rounds was it's like 850 or 950. It's crazy.
It's unreal.
He's playing like a $10 million goalie.
Yeah, he's finally living up to that contract. It only took him what, 3 years of it, 4 years of it.
This guy gets settled in, baby.
But I mean, also the funny thing, you kind of talk about it, and people, I feel like he's getting a rough rough going about it because the way the conversation was going. But Rod the Bod,
Yeah.
after the game 4 sweep, talking about how, oh no, like it's gonna go down that we lost 4 games, but this team did not get swept. And he's
Yeah.
centered, and it's like it's so funny listening to him say that, but it's like, but he's right.
Right.
There's
It's
like,
gonna look like a sweep. Always seems like that team got dominated, but like
yeah,
that's not what happened at all. Like
arguably, I think Carolina was the better team in all 4 games.
but Borowski was just the best player,
Exactly. And Kachuk was just that much
Kachuk was
clutch.
he was the most clutch. Exactly.
Yeah, like, but it's so
it just
funny.
it makes the story of Carolina so hilarious because ever since they won the cup, they have lost 12 straight Eastern Conference Final games.
0-12 in Eastern Conference Final. That is, dude, that's
3
impressive.
sweeps in a row.
That's impressive.
A
You got to
hat
give that
trick
to
of
him.
sweeps in the Eastern Conference Finals.
But
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Hilarious.
What's also great about that, you sent this in the group chat too, with the Boston Celtics losing their game 7. Boston's the first city to lose a home game 7 to an 8 seed in both hockey and basketball in the same season. Fucking South Florida is going to be fucking in one for the next couple weeks.
I mean, they have to be the first, like the first city to. I guess it's not really city because it's like what it's Sunrise is where the Panthers play or something. But I mean, they're close enough. The same like region, doing the opposite, like coming in as 8 seeds and beating the 1 seeds in game 7.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I fucking love it.
Sports are cool. And it's funny to me too, because the NBA usually has like if the team's the first seed, it's like they're guaranteed to fucking go to the final. But this year it seems to be a little bit different. I don't know.
Parity's finally catching up to the NBA, I think. I don't know. I don't follow basketball.
Are the super teams just done?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't follow basketball enough. I can care
same.
Care less about it, but it's always fun when you see a underdog win.
God, man, Carolina did play very well. But yeah, Florida is just on one right now.
Dude,
they're getting everything.
They're a team of destiny, man.
Dude, the game 1, Brandon Montour played 60 fucking minutes. 60 minutes of ice time? Are you kidding? I saw a quote from Paul Maurice. I forgot. I think it was on Instagram. I completely forgot where it was from. But it was about like training camp. And he was getting pissed at Brandon Montour because he thought he wasn't completing the drills because everybody's getting fucking winded and they're dying and he's smiling.
Yeah.
And he's just going. And it's just like, that's the kind of just athlete he is where he's just able to fucking just keep gunning. And he's like, he's not taking a break. He's not letting up. He's just smiling, having a great time and working his ass off. And it's like, that was another great trade. It's crazy to me that like their team is built off of like mainly trades.
Yeah.
Like they're like some of their biggest
trade all
assets.
their fucking draft picks for guys. So
yeah, it's like they got Montour from Buffalo, they got Reinhart from Buffalo, they got Kachuk from Calgary, they got Bennett from Calgary. What are these teams? These teams are giving up guys that are playing very good in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know. You mentioned it too before we switch over to the Western Conference. You talked about Conn Smythe, Blackhawks up there. I know there's not much to think about it, and like I know the players don't take it. Is that a slap in the face of Florida a little bit, saying that the only reason the situation has happened because the Blackhawks beat Pittsburgh? Because I mean, I know it's partly true, but it's like that stuff always
at
kind
the
of
time the fans were like, thank you so much. You guys deserve first overall. And I was like, yeah, we do. And you're welcome.
Man.
Yeah, that game has the same kind of repercussions that the Patrick Stefan empty net miss against Edmonton has, where Edmonton goes on to tie that game. I don't think Edmonton ended up winning, but like the fact that they got the extra point.
Yeah.
That's what brought them ahead of the Blackhawks, and then they ended up getting first overall with Patrick Kane because of that, because he missed a fucking empty net.
So
And
basically, going
this
forward,
game, yeah,
whenever the Hawks are in rebuild mode, you have to just watch every single game and see what's a game-changing game, like which game is a game changer, and that'll be the reason why the Hawks get the first overall pick.
Andreas Athanasiou with the game winner just didn't even know he put two teams on the path of destiny, one to first overall, one to a Stanley Cup final.
Guess what, Anthony Asio? You get a 1 year, $5 million contract for that.
Hey, a little pay bump.
Little pay bump, little 2 year there.
Maybe we'll get traded to Florida during the trade deadline next year.
Oh man. So that was fun. So sitting there, Florida goes to their first Stanley Cup since what was that, 96?
96.
Yeah. So the Eastern Conference or Western Conference.
I mean, yeah, dude, they're hot. They are hot. It's going to be, I think, so hard to beat them. That team is riding so goddamn high.
It's amazing that they're 12-4 now in the playoffs after being almost just destroyed, having to fight claw back from down. What was it, 3-1 they were down?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bobrovsky is 11-2 right now. It's great.
God,
it's crazy.
I do not want to be the guy picking Conn Smythe if Florida wins. All right, Western Conference, you got the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Dallas Stars, and thought we were gonna have back-to-back sweeps.
One of those teams that came to play, man. Vegas has been getting great goaltending as well. Like Aiden Hill didn't let up. They got him for basically nothing.
Yeah, I forgot he came from San Jose, right?
The team's just got the team's just got it clicking right now. They play. It's so frustrating because they do play like so well, and they just block shots like crazy.
Yeah,
they smother people and they block shots like crazy, and then they have like their original Misfits line. They have Mark Stone with the miraculous back, like Jack Eichels made it to the playoffs for the first time, and he's not giving up. Like
he's playing good hockey too. Like,
yeah, man, he's worth it. And like you mentioned, like the $10 million. Like we have one on each side, and somebody's gonna win it.
There's two in
Buffalo
or two
winners.
Isn't it two in Florida and then one in?
No, one in Florida.
Isn't Barkov a 10 million?
I don't believe so, but I can check. I thought he was.
Check me on.
Oh,
that.
he is. Yeah, you're right. Barkov's making more money than Kachuk. Like I get Barkov's a good two-way guy, but like Kachuk is just so noticeable out there.
Well,
like,
Barkov was that guy that they were gonna build around, and then Kachuk fell in their lap, and they're like, "Oh shit!" So it'll be interesting to see how they handle Barkov with going forward too. Because honestly, I'd fucking strip him of that C right now and put on Kachuk so he can be the first one to lift the cup.
Yeah, I mean, nah. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be all right.
But all right, so
being the first one.
So Vegas went up 3-0 in this series. Then all of a sudden in game 3, Jamie Benn, fucking wires just got crossed, accidentally fell with his stick leaning out on top of Mark Stone, cross-checks him in the head.
Don't you hate it? You hate it when a guy falls in front of you and you're staring at him, and then all of a sudden your ankles give out and your stick goes forward and it gets him right in the jaw, like right in the dome, and you just have to tell everybody that was an accident.
I love his quote. He goes, "Yeah, it's a high pace, high tempo game, and it's like I would have loved to not fall and stick first with my stick, or like with the stick being the point of impact." Dude, you can count, I think, 3 Mississippi before he fucking decides to go down on him. Phrasing, I know, but whatever.
You can see the intent in his fucking eyes.
Like, it was a minute 30 into the game or something like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking right there. That game was over in the
And
first 5 minutes to go up 3-0.
was that the
And
game that the fans were throwing shit on the ice?
I think so. Yeah. And they threw popcorn at Hill as he was walking back onto the ice. And then after the game, he's like,
Yeah.
because I guess everything was just hitting me that night because like all the popcorn
Yeah.
just got.
It was 4-0, right?
I fucking hate that I like some of the guys in Vegas. I don't like Vegas.
I don't like Vegas because of their management. That's why. I hate the way that they like just the players just get dumped. It's fucking wild. Like they just don't give a shit. They have and the coaches too. Like it's so weird to me. The team just like does not fucking care like what they do as long as they win, I guess. And in my eyes, they're kind of like a villain.
Yeah, they're the real villains. Like
now we got Florida. Florida's like the I mean, I don't know.
Talk about
it's like David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Vegas didn't even make the playoffs last year. And then they became then they were number 1 in the Western Conference this year. Oh yeah, I was gonna say we forgot we were gonna talk about the NHL awards, but we can fucking wait on that.
Yeah, we'll wait on that when we're closer. There's enough talking about with the league or the cup and all that. But so Jamie Benn gets suspended 2 games.
Yep.
Down 3-0. Everybody's okay.
Gives Dallas life in those games, actually.
Dallas wins 2 in a row. Make this a series. Jamie Benn comes back. Dallas gets blown out. 6-0.
Dallas gets smoked. Yeah. Oh God. It's in before the game, like Jake Ottinger, like they had said he was like 3-0 in elimination games and has like a 9.64 save percentage. And that's the whole reason I thought Dallas was going to go to the Stanley Cup Final, because I was like, they have probably one of the best goalies in the playoffs at this point.
He was playing hurt though too. It came out that he was dealing with a few different minor injuries throughout the entire playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt he was carrying that team.
Yeah, but
him and Joe Pavelski, who just comes back and scores like 1,000 goals. All right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So they get eliminated. Dallas gets eliminated. Sends Vegas to the Cup Final. Vegas does not touch. I always get the 2 trophies confused.
The Clarence
Campbell. They don't touch it. And then Florida touches
Prince of Wales.
So we got a classic battle of touch versus no touch. Vegas versus Florida. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
So far, the team I saw it was at least the East that had touched it tends to win it. Besides Tampa last year, it was Pittsburgh touched it twice, Washington touched it. Boston did not touch it.
They lost.
And then Tampa touched it 3 times, with the last one being the exception. And I don't know what it was before that.
Because they didn't touch in 2015, did they?
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. That's probably why.
So we said it already. There's a couple cool storylines with this cup final.
Yeah.
A player making over $10 million will finally win the Stanley Cup. There has never been a player. Yeah, 10 million more. That's never happened.
Equal than or greater than or equal to. Jesus, can't talk.
This will be a
first
time champion. Will be lifting the Stanley Cup.
First time they were getting 2 first timers since 2018, where it was Vegas and Washington.
Oh yeah.
So Vegas is back up again.
So like we said earlier, Florida's first cup appearance since 1996. Vegas, it's their second cup final in the first 6 years of their franchise history. Florida, just in case we haven't hammered home how significant and historic this playoff run has been, they're just the 3rd team in NHL history to eliminate 3 of the top 4 teams in the NHL in one single postseason.
Jesus, is Vegas the other one?
That's what I was just thinking. I should have looked that up beforehand.
It's got to be, right?
Or no, Toronto. Oh no, they're not
Florida
Toronto.
eliminated Toronto.
Yeah, who is it then?
Regular season standings. Boston, Carolina, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, Toronto, Vegas. So they could be 4 out of the top 5.
Technically, you could say the top 4 because Vegas and Toronto tied in points.
Yeah.
You could put a little asterisk next to it if it happens.
Devils are still above that at 3. So
right, but I think it's gonna be a fun cup. I really do. I think.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like I want to say like I think it's gonna be a lot closer. But then it's like I also can see this being blown out by both teams. Both teams blowing it out. Like I can see Florida, Kachuk and Bobrovsky just willing Florida to another sweep.
But Borowski, game 7, shoots it down the ice, scores, game winner.
Let's see. See, there's too many hockey accounts now that I can't remember who posted what.
Yeah.
Who posts the head-to-head ones? Do you remember off the top of your head?
No. Is it NHL discussion?
Maybe. That might be it.
Pretty fun shit though, man. Like it's a clear underdog of Florida because Vegas was the number 1 seed in the West. But watching the playoffs go on, like I don't think you can really call Florida like the underdog.
No. Like they're just underdogs in terms of they're the 8th seed versus a 1 seed.
Well, the thing too is like I think Florida has just been playing with so much confidence that like I hope that they can come out game 1 with that same confidence because they've been resting for a bit. Where Vegas, like I kept saying, like each round, like they haven't really faced adversity, but it's like they haven't faced adversity because that team's just getting it fucking done. Like
right.
they're doing it as a team. They're fucking just putting the work in. Everybody's contributing, and they're getting it fucking done. And it's like that's scary because like I don't think they've looked like very dominating, but they fucking like they've really put it to some teams. Like 6-0 against Dallas. It's no fucking joke. Like, oh, Jesus, it's scary.
Right.
So it's gonna be real good.
Right now on DraftKings, use promo code THPN Sportsbook. For the futures bet on this one, right now, Florida is the underdog at plus 110, while Vegas is minus 130. But I mean, those are still fucking close odds. Like,
yeah.
So it's like even Vegas is like, this is too close to call right now. Like,
yeah, right.
This is gonna be a lot of fucking fun, man. Like, I'm just so excited, and I think we all know who we want to win. Yeah, start Saturday. Let's get predictions here really quick. What are you taking?
I want Florida.
So, are you going with Florida as your prediction?
I got to. Then, like, it just carries on the like trend of like the previous year's President's Trophy team. Like goes on to win the cup the next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just history's got to repeat itself, bud.
It has to. It has to. I'm taking Florida as well. And I text Noli just to see, and he says, God, I hope Florida.
Yeah. It makes me think that it's gonna end up being Vegas now. What if
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I just can't wait. It's good.
How many games do you think?
4.
You're going with Florida in 4?
It's either 4 or 7. No in between.
4 or 7, no in between.
that's all I got.
I'm going Florida in 6. They're gonna win at home. They're gonna win at home.
Yeah, I'll say 4. Florida's just gonna stay on it. They're just gonna be on it still.
Let's see if he'll text back real quick. We'll see how many games.
God,
and Noli's kind of part of the show again, I guess. I don't know.
That's good.
He's
Good
good.
shit.
So yeah, but all right. Couple quick things I guess we could talk about.
TNT baby, getting Kachuk
TNT.
out there.
Yeah, Kachuk is
They
just
brought Kachuk onto during the NBA game between Boston and Miami, and just it was pretty good. They were just like they brought up the fact that like asking if he had home ice advantage. He's just like, nah, we made it into the playoffs by 1 point. What do you think? But it was so funny. Or the fact that like Charles Barkley called Sergei Babovka.
but nails Kachuk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in his defense, like Keith Kachuk was in the NHL when Barkley was playing in the NBA, and yeah,
Well, he's taking
Noli says
6 games. Yeah.
six games as well. It's good stuff. It was so good. Like if you're like TNT's been doing the best coverage, and they're already killing it with the NBA, and the fact that they brought on Kachuk during that segment to kind of also spread the news on how fucking awesome he is. He also just it's one of those things where it's really good that he's moved from a Western Canadian team to an Eastern Conference team.
Yeah.
Because now that he's more into that prime time like games, and you can just put him on TV like all the fucking time and like get him those interviews. Him and Jack Hughes. If they could do an interview every single game after their games, I would love it.
Oh, 100%. Dude, those two need to be on national TV as much as fucking possible.
American boys.
Noli threw a nice little twist into the predictions. Who do you have for Conn Smythe?
Blackhawks. It's gonna. I mean,
You gotta
I
pick
think
one. You
it's
can't say
gonna
A or B.
it's gonna really end up being how the final goes down, but probably it's gotta be. It's. I mean, I think it's gonna be Kachuk.
This is gonna be the easiest graphic ever for me. All I have to do is make one
I'll put
change.
Bobrovsky then.
No. You go Chuck. I'm just saying all I gotta do is change you to
If
4 games.
Bobrovsky still lets in 2 goals or fewer every single game, it's gonna be Bobrovsky.
Have they ever done Conn Smythe?
No.
I'm just curious.
Fucking
I'm just
T-ball.
curious. This might be the first time though that you could probably make a really legitimate
Yeah,
argument.
you can make a good argument. Like in 2016, you could make an argument that Phil Kessel should have won the Conn Smythe too. But
100%.
It went to Sidney
I'm
Crosby.
not saying that you do it. I was just asking if it has ever happened because this might be the first time that you would be like, okay, if they did, it'd be like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
No. No.
Straight up no.
No. That's good shit.
I forgot what I was on. What were we talking about?
We're talking about TNT.
TNT. Okay.
They've been doing a great job the whole playoffs, and I'm excited to see how the final goes down.
Yeah, no more ESPN. Thank God.
Yeah, they had like some sort of like thank you to the fans or something like after that Western Conference Final game, and people were, I guess some people got confused. They're like, is that it? It's like, I'm pretty sure Florida's still in. Yeah. It's just not on ESPN anymore. TNT, no drama.
I don't want to like get too into it, but some of the news that came up: Arizona got vetoed to build their new stadium.
Oh yeah.
They got voted against it, and now they are running a freaking junior hockey campaign on social media, getting Twitter votes to see where they should build their next stadium, asking questions about how far would you be willing to travel, what city do you want to go in. Listen, if you have to be doing that shit, you're not going to work out in the market anymore. Fucking pack it up and move.
We're gonna well, you know what's crazy is the, I guess, like marketing against having that stadium there was outrageous. Like there was like people had like signs on like voting no for this, like comparing the shit to like, I guess, like Vegas in a way of just like debauchery and all this other just wild shit. And apparently a lot of the people that are voting are just like a much older crowd that just think that like the whole place is going to turn into like a fucking brothel That's what they kind of that's what they kind of convinced everybody of.
Yeah, that's
it's
insane.
And like that's the reason that they voted no. Like they didn't get the word out enough of like what they were gonna plan on doing to like building up the place to combat all of the like negative things that these old fucking people were like putting out there.
They probably didn't think they needed to do anything. It seemed like a fucking slam dunk, no brainer to build it there. You take a landfill and you turn it into fucking a stadium and entertainment district and all that kind of stuff.
Why? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Don't piss off Clayton Keller's dad.
You got hacked.
Also, I forgot about this. The patch. The Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah, because I even had that down. Jersey failed. They're moving the patch to the left side of the jersey to make room for the ads.
Oh, Jesus.
Because they have the jersey ads on the right side now.
Just the patch itself is the ad. You're advertising the Stanley Cup Final.
There should be no jersey ads in the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah. It's also the whole playoffs has been depressing not seeing the Stanley Cup like playoff like
on the ice.
And you're not gonna see it on the ice. You're not gonna see Stanley Cup Final on the ice either.
That's so stupid.
That was by the fucking ads.
It's just a small detail, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
Another quick thing. Very interesting time in Toronto, which I think we'll save this to talk about next week because I think Nolan's going to be on next week, so I'd love to hear him talk about it. But basically, cliff notes because it's about to break soon here, I think. Dubas says that he's not going to be a GM anywhere but Toronto. Sounded like they offered him a contract. He did his whole end of season press conference. Shanahan didn't like it, took away his offer, and essentially fired Kyle Dubas. Now Dubas is basically all but locked in to be the next GMs and president of the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's Toronto just can't get in their own way.
Wasn't there the rumor that like Dubas wanted to pull the trigger on a Tage Thompson trade before he blew up, and like it was just like a 5th rounder for Tage Thompson?
It was something stupid,
and like got nixed by Shanahan. And so then dumb. Tage Thompson goes off and scores like 40 goals.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll talk more about that when with Noli because I would love to hear Noli's input on all that.
Yeah, and then there was a couple coach hirings too. So Andrew Brunette in like
Nashville,
and there was another one I can't remember, but it was Toronto's one of Toronto's assistants.
Is the head coach of Washington. He actually was the head coach of the Hershey Bears
for
a while up until last season when he was the assistant in Toronto. So I want to say something Connolly.
Spencer Carberry.
Okay, so I was close with the C.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, I'm sure we'll hear something about Dubas soon.
Yeah, I think because there was a source I saw on Hockey Reddit that Pittsburgh radio station says that their source has heard that he is agreed to a contract. So we'll see how legit that is.
Wait till that actually comes out.
Right. So
also the fact I think it's funny that Toronto, was it Shanahan that said like the core 4 are not going anywhere? Okay, man. Then why don't you just be the fucking GM?
That's what I was talking to Noli about. That was another thing that I'm just like, okay, who wants to be that GM? Who wants to take that job when they're essentially they can't do anything? They're not gonna be allowed to do anything. So, all right, episode 225. What are we calling it?
It's You're Welcome, Florida.
I like it. All right, episode 225. You're welcome, Florida. Make sure to follow us on all social media at WCB Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which has been getting subscribers a lot lately. So let's keep that shit up.
Yeah, brother.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network at HockeyPodNet. DraftKings promo code THPN. Raycon promo code THPN. 15% off your first order. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Fuck yeah. All right, love you boys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.